Yep. And as I was just saying, again, I was younger than those guys by considerable age. I just loved, getting some free fireworks here and there, shooting it off. Drinking beers at a young age was a lot of fun. But there was some other really funny stuff that happened with the money. Let's talk about Tommy. Tommy was making a ton of money. Now, when he went over to college his first year, his mother called him up because in his house he had like some old green Boy Scout sleeping bag that he kept in a hall closet with a bunch of linen and stuff. And his mother was just, I guess, either going to throw it out or wash it. And money started coming out. So his mother called him up in college and says, "What? What in the world is this?" It makes the point that these guys had so much money at times they didn't know what to do with it, didn't know where to hide it, didn't even know anything about what to do with it. That's how crazy it was. I'll give you two other funny money stories. One with our guys, one with one of John Gotti's guys that really cracked me up. Okay, our guy Jeff, who's portrayed in the book, and his mom, as you know, was crazy, always yelling at him, "This boy's a fool. He's a good for nothing bum." Well, this guy would sometimes have $8,000 in his pockets. In the summertime, it'd be flashing us hundreds and fifties and twenties. And what would this maniac do? He'd go up to his mom and say, "Hey, mom, you got $1 for me? I want to go to the gas station up the street and get an ice cream. You have $1?" And then she'd blow up, "You must make do with what you have." She'd be going crazy on this guy. He'd be, "Come on, mom. The other kids' moms gave them $1 or $2. You're not going to give me $1 or $2. I'm broke. I don't have any money." And as she was yelling, he'd be having his back to us and flashing us like a handful of hundreds. And he's asking his mom for $1. We always laughed our face off about that. But here's another good one. One of the guys who I mentioned that I was actually dating his daughter later on, way past all this stuff, in the 1990s, he was a very close confidant of John Gotti's. They went to Frankie Lane High School together, really best friends. Um, his street name was Frankie, Pennsylvania. He's long gone now, but he was involved in the horse racing stuff that we had talked about. And the money they were making on that was just unfathomable. And the story about him, which is unbelievable, he had money that, again, they didn't know where to put it all. And one day he got a flat tire. And when he took the tire out, there was money in the back of his trunk underneath the tire, I guess. He had forgotten about tons of money, a couple 100,000 in cash. And he had left it there for years ago and forgot about it. And he probably would have passed the car on to one of his daughters or sold it or junked it without realizing the money was there. When they're making money on this type of stuff, you can't even remember where you put the money. And that was two or three funny examples that I remember about the money.